Brenda, yes! You did it!
What up, everyone? It's your boy Cisco HM with another review on something that has stuck onto me since I've watched it, Malignant. For those who don't know me, the horror movie genre has always been a genre that terrified me as a child, but never put me off watching them. Horror movies to me are like an adrenaline rush, like how some people are with roller coasters or skydiving. As a kid, I've seen some shit that most kids in elementary school or middle school probably weren't allowed to watch. My parents, especially my dad, had a rule about not watching things that are rated R. For some reason, Family Guy was a no-no for him, but that's a whole different reason, I guess. Since I'm the oldest brother, 2 years older, I pretty much was the example. So if my brother couldn't watch it, I couldn't. Following me so far? By the way, sorry Josh, but I was the trendsetter with music, movies, and shows, and you know it to be true. There were times I'd slip away from horror movies because once I had gotten so scared of the movie Signs, directed by M. Night Shyamalan, I was roughly around the age of 6, 7 when it came out, and all I could remember was those little quick scenes of the aliens on the news station scaring the absolute soul out of my body. When the aliens were getting closer to the farmer's house, all I could really do was hide behind my parents' couch and scream. Obviously, my parents laughed because to them, that did nothing to them. You know, they've already seen all the horror movies in their lifetime, and for me, it was new, so obviously I'm gonna get scared shitless. I even screamed from someone knocking on our front door. Am I crazy? Someone's so terrified of horror movies as a kid. I love horror movies. Sorry about that tangent, everyone. Let's get to why you're even here.
Cindy! The TV's leaking!
So Malignant is a new horror movie directed by James Wan, and if you don't know who that is, he's practically the god of low-budget horror that flips for a crazy profit. He's directed movies such as Saw, Dead Silence, The Conjuring, and one of my top 5 horror movies, Insidious. Now, mind you, all of these, except Dead Silence, that have been franchised heavily to the point in driving it into the dirt, I've never seen a movie he's created that decided to make sequels, except Insidious. Don't ask. If you watch my short film, Judge, there's so many little moments in it that are heavily inspired by James Wan's cinematography, camera movements, and use of music.
Showed up about an hour ago. I tried to call.
No, he didn't.
Okay, but I was gonna.
No, he wasn't. Look, Cody.
This movie is kind of frustrating. Okay, so let's get into it with how this movie frustrated me in some ways. Simply because this movie gives away the twist, yet does a great job in making you feel like you're Madison, the lead role in the movie. There's this scene where one of the detectives investigating the murder of Madison's husband or boyfriend is literally chasing the dark figure who is murdering doctors that used to work in a behavioral center type place. And for about 5 minutes of the chase scene, he doesn't call for backup once. Not once. You'd think chasing a dangerous killer, you'd want backup, but whatever pushes the story, I guess. I know it's meant to get rid of the doubt that Madison is crazy because no one has seen what this person looks like, and when Madison does give a description, it's played off like a joke. Also, when Madison gets hospitalized and has a miscarriage, no one seems to comfort her once. She leaves the next day as if her boyfriend wasn't brutally murdered and just lost her baby for the 3rd time in 2 years. She's had 3 miscarriages in 2 years, which is why the boyfriend is kind of a drunk and kind of an asshole to Madison because he believes she must be doing something. It's never clarified, but once you get to the last act of the movie, you could come up with your own conspiracy. There's this one point in the movie where Madison in the 3rd act gets thrown in jail for the suspicion of the murders, even though the detective had seen who the real murderer is that had killed one of the doctors. So do you think he would have a say in it, or his word could just back her up? But no,
right to jail.
Now let's get to the fun stuff. And believe me, there is a lot of fun stuff. Sorry about that. There's this really sick tracking shot where Madison is trying to hide from the dark figure when coming back from the hospital. And it's all done within the house, shot from the ceiling pointing down. It's just like that one shot of Kiddo from Kill Bill when she's walking around Oren's restaurant. It's pretty cool. It's well done. It's very well choreographed. Also, the fight scenes and the chase scenes are choreographed beautifully by Zoe Bell, who is a huge name in Hollywood for her stunts and her stunt team. It's like all the frustrating things get overshadowed by the really fun stuff, but then you remember no one would act this way, and it kind of balances out somewhat, and maybe for others could actually take you out from the movie entirely. But since I'm a fan of James Wan, I gave it the benefit of the doubt and kind of followed along, and I was not disappointed. The gore. Nothing beats gore and violence in movies so much, just because it's fun to watch. Movies only though. Only movies. I can't even have a needle in my arm for more than 10 seconds without crying. But yet, I'll watch a whole room of assassins get completely sliced up and all bloodied up, and I'm fine. There's one scene where the dark figure is on top of one of the doctors on his bed while he's sleeping, and he gets his face practically ripped open with an extremely long knife that's forged from one of the medical award trophies that he had stolen from the first doctor that he ended up killing. Also, the fight in the jail scene is extremely brutal and so much bloody fun that I couldn't take my eyes off of it. I even had to rewind one of the deaths where the dark figure completely bursts through someone's stomach with just an arm. Shit like that is fucking nuts, and it gives me chills.
Armando, we're gonna die! It would have just been you if you would have just shut the fuck up!
Alright everyone, that's gonna wrap it up. Have you seen Malignant? What did you think of it? Also, what are your favorite horror movies? Comment below your thoughts on this movie, and hopefully you like it as much as I do, and I do like it a lot. Check out my newest short film where I got to work with some amazing people and had tons of fun working on. Follow me on Instagram for updates on new videos at CiscoHM. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I'll be back with a new video by the end of the month. Have a great few weeks and see you soon. Take care.